Hey everybody, I'm Mama Baird and welcome back to the channel. It is super early, as in 2:45 a.m. I went to bed early because we were super tired. We went swimming and everything. So now I'm up early and I'm trying to catch up on stuff. Husband did some dishes and did some laundry, so those were finishing up as I got up. So that's kind of nice. So I'm kind of rotating and swapping. But I went to make coffee and I'm out of half and half, and that is unacceptable. So luckily for me, our supermarket is open 24 hours. I ran down to the store, got some half and half plus some other stuff that I picked up. So I'm just going to show you what I got. This isn't like a budget deal or super shopping or anything like that. I literally just went to the store, picked up some supplies and came home. The kids are on holiday break right now, so they're home. I need lots of food. I picked up a thing of apples. This is just like Fuji apples. Those were, I don't know, $3. I got some Chex Mix here just for the kids to munch on. It was like $2. I always go by the meat department. Now, since it was so early, everything was like at the end of the day, out, which was fine. But I just went for the half and half. But I was still able to find this chicken. This is the fryer hind quarter. So you got your leg and your thigh here. So this is your dark meat. And it had a $4 off coupon, and it was $8.69, so that dropped this down to $4.69. So I figured, this would be good to have some meat for the week, so I just went ahead and picked up that, and I'm actually going to cook it right now since I'm up. Anytime I cook anything, I set my oven to 375, but if I bake something, I do 350. So kind of like when you have food like this, you want the little bit of the higher heat. It kind of just, 25-degree difference, not gonna make a big difference, just something I do. My beloved half now. Look, I got my new Christmas mug. Just got this at Goodwill for like $2. It might have been $3, but still, that's a good mug. I don't even know if I'm gonna put that away for the holidays. I might just keep that around all year long. It's good. And that's also the coffee that I got at Save-A-Lot for $2 a can. Some people are like, well, even if it's a good deal, if it tastes like gas oil, is that motor oil? If it tastes like motor oil, then it's not worth it, That's the tone of the voice that I visualize them talking in. And it's delicious. So, score! And then my last bag of goodies here, what'd I get? I got 2 things of lunch meat. We had some of the neighbor kids over yesterday, and I fed them a bunch of apples, oranges, and sandwiches, so I restocked on those. I'm kind of okay being in the house where everybody comes to be fed, That's always like, well, what's cooking? Every time those neighbor kids come over, they're like, hi, we're kind of hungry. I don't know. I think it's endearing, All right, so we got yogurt. I got this kind. This is the kind that they give them at school. So this is just what I get because they're kind of used to it. I think it's dairy free. Oh, lactose free, made with milk. Doesn't milk have lactose? I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. If you can let me know, is it just because it's lactose free? Is there lactose free milk? I guess there is. Anyway, so we got this. These are the 2 that we got. These were only like $2.88, but they go through pretty fast. And then I know I'm gonna be a lazy bones, and I got some Jimmy Dean's pancakes and sausage on a stick. These are 12 of them, and this was like $10. So this is not something we would normally get, but it's just something that you can't do too often. You try and stay under budget with that. Let me put these in the freezer. All right, I'm gonna put some Slap Your Mama Cajun seasoning on these. I just got this for Christmas. I might have put it in my own stocking. Anybody do that? Husband does good. He did get other things, but I also like to add stuff for my stocking. I'm usually the stocking stuffer, and I like that he does little things that he puts in there, but then I'll put, if I'm getting candy for everybody, then I'll just get one for myself. If I'm getting, little stocking stuffers, like a flashlight for him, I got a seasoning for me, Plus, I have so many, he's doesn't know what to get me. So it's little things like that I don't mind getting for myself. So I got this, and then look at this little cast iron skillet. I'm gonna have to try and do a challenge. Oh, that would be fun. Challenge live, cooking only on this. I don't even know. Look at this on my burner. Don't mind the dirty stuff. I haven't had a chance to be in the kitchen. Look at that. It's like a challenge on what's that one cooking show that the challenge is with Alton Brown? Cutthroat Kitchen. There it is. There you go. These tongs are not leg quarters. So you can do leg quarters, or you can have the chicken breast. You can do the same thing with that. Now, I am not going to wash my chicken. It is advised that you don't, because when you wash it, it's actually spreading the salmonella and bacteria and all that stuff around more than if you just leave it there. So, in water, rinsing it, like, it would rinse off particles, I guess, if there's on there. You know, water doesn't kill germs. Heat does. I'm going to be baking this. Let's put this on my new bar pan I got from Goodwill for $5. That's right. $5 foot long? Nope. A $5 bar pan. Yeah. There's 2 of them. Now, I won't buy Pampered Chef stuff brand new, but I will buy it used at Goodwill for sure. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Alright. Just kind of rearrange this. Works out pretty well. I'm going to leave the skin on there because I think it adds lots of flavor. Totally up to you though. I'm also going to drizzle. Look at my fat collection here. We got butter, we got bacon grease, we got ghee, and we got olive oil. I love options. Alright, I'm going to drizzle some olive oil over this. See, I need avocado oil, I need coconut oil. What other fat can I have over there? You know, just beef up my collection. Oh, I still have a very full cup of coffee. All right, this Labio Mama. Now this is the Cajun hot blend. I think there was a regular. And I know this may I'm cooking this for my family to eat, you know, in Cajun you think, but especially with the skin, you're gonna pick this off. Yeah. It broke it. Oh, and it cut my finger. Oh, that was not smart, Carolina. Man, that was an instant consequence for my actions right there. Where'd I put it? Run off with it. I'm okay. And sometimes lessons are hard to learn. Oh yeah, you can definitely tell this got paprika in it. Paprika is a girl's best friend. Now, Cajun seasoning is kind of like blackened seasoning. That's what I know it as from the restaurant. It's blackened. I gotta tell you, I like my steaks blackened. And one time I went out to eat and I ordered my steak blackened, and the server was like, "So you want it burnt?" And I'm like, "No, blackened is a seasoning." Oh, okay. I was like, I'm so glad that you asked that. And like, you want it mid-rare, but you also want it burnt? Colby, no cat. So I'm going to bake this in my 375-degree oven. It's still preheating for now. You know what? We can just put it in. It's not that big of a deal. So we're going to put this in 375, and we're going to bake this uncovered for not an hour, 45 minutes. 45 minutes, and then, whoa, and then we'll check it. I think I just do that. Now to start, do I gotta press it? Nope, dang it. Everybody else forget how their oven works. I usually use the microwave timer. Alright, maybe I just leave it. Let's see. Yep, okay, apparently that worked. Alright, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go drink my coffee and be on the computer for a bit while this cooks. I have no idea what I'm gonna make with it yet. It's just kind of a protein that I got on sale. I'm gonna cook it right away, and then we'll just figure out what we're gonna do with the meat later. All right, cheers. I'll catch you in a minute. Woo, she's hot. I say this is done. You see how it's kind of pulling away from the bone here? The skin is crispy, which means the meat is juicy. Got lots of juice. That's fat, but also chicken juice down there. So we're going to let this sit. I did end up cooking this for another 15 minutes. I almost feel like the skin could get a little crispier, but that's okay. Woohoo! Alright, we'll let that sit, and then we'll shred it up. Once the chicken cooled down, I put it in a Ziploc bag and just had it in the fridge until I was ready to deal with it. So now that it is cooled down, it is easier to shred when it's warmer, but I'm just going to shred all of it, and I'm going to separate the bones, the skin, and the cartilage, and that's going to be put in the side to make a stock. And for that stock, we're just going to use the bones. I'm going to add some carrots, some freeze-dried garlic, and then we are going to fill that up with water. I'm also going to add pepper, salt, just a little bit though, because on the skin is that slap your mama seasoning. And then we're going to put in a shot of apple cider vinegar. You really need some kind of acid of some type because that'll help break down the bones and get all the nutrients out of them. And then I'm putting some bay leaves for flavor, and then I'm going to throw in an onion as well that has some of the skin. That'll be fine. You could also do onion skin and scraps and stuff if you would like. So once this boils, I had it boiling all day, about I would say 6 hours or so, and then this is what it looks like. This is beautiful chicken bone broth that we can use for anything throughout the week, so this is definitely an ingredient that is worth making. You guys, that chicken turned out so good. It was nice and moist by the way that I cooked it in the oven. You could probably definitely do that in the air fryer as well. You'd probably have to do it in batches, but that way you don't have to heat your oven if you don't want to. That broth was so delicious and so flavorful. I think what I'm going to do is save it. With the cold weather hitting us, there's definitely a pot of ham and bean soup calling my name. Now that the chicken is cooked and the broth is made and put up, I'm going to be whipping up some tasty dinners. So let's get into the kitchen and let's see what I make. Once all the chicken was shredded, I got about 6 cups worth. So I'm going to use 4 cups tonight, and we are going to make chicken pot pie. Now, believe it or not, I have actually never made chicken pot pie or chicken or dumplings, anything like that, so I'm excited to give this a try. I'm just going to be using a can of mixed veggie, a can of cream of asparagus, and a can of cream of mushroom. Now, you could also use cream of chicken in this. You could also use cream of whatever. Like if you have a weird one, like the asparagus, you got a cream of weird, then you can throw this into it with a mushroom or a chicken, and it'll kind of help mask the flavor. Like I didn't taste the cream of asparagus at all, but it just helped make it creamy. So you're going to mix all of that together, and then you are going to add 2.5 cups of milk. I was a little worried that this would make it a bit runny, but it ended up coming together really well and had a nice creamy base. So 2.5 milks is perfect. Well, 2.5 cups of milk. And then I'm going to add garlic powder, pepper, and salt, and that's all I'm going to add to it. Also, I usually put a shot of Who's Your Sister sauce in casseroles, so that would be good in this as well. And then some people just use like frozen peas and carrots. That's also perfectly fine. Cream of potato soup would be good in this as well, so that's why I did the mixed veggies, because it has a bunch of different ones in there. And now I'm going to flour my surface, and I'm just using pie crust. I'm going to use a 9x13 to make this, so I want crust on the bottom and crust on top. So I'm going to use a total of 3 of these pre-made crust. 1.5 is going to go on the bottom. I'm going to try and kind of pinch and piece them together, and then I'm going to use my rolling pin to kind of seal them. This doesn't have to be perfect, obviously. This is just at home, home cooking. I do want to start practicing making some of my own pie crust though, and this would be good to have a bigger portion so you know that it's for your rectangle pan. But I'm just going to roughly roll these all together. It doesn't have to be perfect. You do suggest that they have them at room temperature. I had 2 of them at room temperature and it worked fantastic, but then I had one that was cold because I forgot I needed 3, and that one you'll see later on kind of broke all apart. So room temperature is ideal. I'm going to fold it in half to pick it up so it won't break, and then put it in my 9x13 glass pan. I'm slowly pushing the crust all the way to the corners in the bottom, and that might bring the top crust down a bit, but that's okay because, like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to be ending up folding that over to make a crust on top anyway. So once I'm pretty sure that it's all down in there, and you can see I have a little tear there, I pinch it together, but it doesn't have to be perfect, like especially with the bottom. So now we're going to pour that in there, and this was the perfect amount of filling for this casseroles. Now that we have our filling in there, we're going to put the other half of that pie crust on there. Now you could do the thing like I did before and put it down and roll it together so it's one big piece. But like I said, with this pie crust, it was frozen. You can see how it's kind of just coming off in pieces. And I'm just like, whatever. I'm just going to throw it around there. It's just for us. So this kind of worked out because I was able to put it where I would like it. And then I'm going to put an extra layer around the sides of it to kind of make a top crust. Once you go to make the sides, you kind of want to pull the top layer down and crimp it a bit. That's what's going to make a nice thick crust for the top. Like I said, this is kind of just thrown together, so I'm sure there's a prettier way to do this. But for this being my first chicken pot pie, I think it turned out pretty darn good.
And then we are going to be making egg wash for this. That just makes a nice little color for it. So once I have all the sides tucked in and have the where I want to be, this is also would be the time if you want to put like decorative leaves or whatever you would put on top of the pie crust and it would bake into it. This egg wash is 1 egg and then a little bit of water, and then I'm going to put it all around it. Another thing that would be really good on top of this while you have the egg wash on there would be sea salt or kosher salt, and then when it bakes it would have that nice crunchy thick salt on top. That would be good too. So I'm going to bake this at 375 for 35 minutes, and it turned out absolutely fantastic. The crust was nice and cooked and thick, and then not many of the juices escaped, even though I didn't have a solid top for the crust. Now I'm going to let this sit for probably about 25 minutes. I let it sit for a while because it was super hot and bubbly, and it needs to cool down in order for that filling to thicken up to be scoopable. So guys, this was fantastic. The kids absolutely love this. When I took it out of the oven, they were all like, "What's that smell? It smells like chicken nuggets." So if anything smells like chicken nuggets, you know it smells good. So I really hope that you give this a try. If you've never tried chicken pot pie before, you definitely don't know what you're missing. This is absolutely fantastic. I am not kidding about that pot pie. You guys have got to give that a try. Also, I'm serious about the pie crust. I really want to start getting in there. So if you have any tips or tricks about a good pie crust, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to make that. I think having a homemade pie crust would have just put that right over the top. One thing about me is I like it kind of spicy. So let's get in here and let's whip up some buffalo chicken egg rolls. Now this chicken ended up being a little spicy because of that Slap Your Mama seasoning. I think I underestimated how spicy that was. So the kids, it worked out in the pot pie because of the fact that I had all that other mild stuff in it. But the rest of the chicken, I didn't want to use it with any other kind of food for the kids. So I decided I was going to make buffalo chicken egg rolls. I think that sounds delicious. I got these egg roll wrappers from the food bank. And so I'm dicing up the chicken a little smaller since I'm going to be using it as a filling. And once that is done, then you're just going to put it in a bowl and mix all of your ingredients together. I feel like it kind of would have been easier if I would have mixed the cream cheese with the cheese and the sauce first, but it also worked out. I just had to use a little more elbow grease. So 1 block of cream cheese. I used about a cup of habanero cheese, and then I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of Louisiana hot sauce. I also threw some garlic powder in there, and then you're just going to mix this up. I ended up, like I said, I had to use some elbow grease in there, and this turned out absolutely delicious. That cream cheese really helps mild things out but make it, you know, a nice creamy smooth base. So with these egg rolls, how you want to roll them is you're going to have them at a diagonal facing you, and then I was going to try and measure it with tablespoons, but just put a plop of filling on there, anywhere from 1/4 cup to 1/2 cup. Put it right in the middle, and then you're going to have some water, and you're going to put it around the creases, around the edge of the egg roll. Pick up your end of the wrapper, pull it under the filling and kind of make it tight, and then you're going to fold up the sides and make sure you're pushing down that little extra bit that's in front of the filling. That's what's going to keep it from falling out. And then you're just going to finish rolling, and that's going to make for your egg roll. So again, make sure you put water on the sides, bring the bottom tip to the middle, tuck it under your filling, fold in the sides, make sure you're creasing the side of the egg roll that's closest to the filling, and tuck and roll. And now I'm going to be shallow frying this in my cast iron skillet. You're going to put a little bit of vegetable oil. I do wish I had a bit more though, because I had to flip it and do the sides and stuff. You could see that I had it a little hot. The bottom of that egg roll got a little dark. So next time I would do just maybe double the oil so it cooks the sides at the same time, so I'm not having to flip it and try and get all of the edges cooked, if that makes sense. So you want to have the oil roughly around 350 degrees too. I was just kind of guesstimating. Don't mind the mess. I had made some Chinese food earlier that day. If you want to see that video, I'll have it linked below. That was delicious. But now that these are all cooked, just a couple of minutes, probably 2 to 3 minutes per side, I'm going to let them cool for a little bit. And then we are going to slice them open and see how we did. I have a bowl of ranch here to serve them with, and these were really good. The only thing is that with the egg rolls being frozen, I kind of double layered a bit, and I had 2 egg roll wrappers in one, so that middle wrapper wasn't quite done. But that was just user error, and I didn't peel the egg roll wrappers enough. But yeah, this was absolutely delicious, and this would be a great recipe to have for the super game coming up.
I can't believe I doubled up those egg rolls. What a noob mistake. But now you know, I think with the egg rolls wrappers being frozen and then thawed, they kind of got stuck together a little bit. But that's okay, we live and we learn. Don't ever get defeated when you have a mistake. It's best to just learn, laugh at yourself, and then you know better next time. Thanks for coming along and seeing what I got at Super One, how I made some delicious, yummy chicken, and the frugal dinners that I made from it. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time on Mama Bears.